Welcome to another episode of OG55. I got Lucas in the house and Mr. Seymour Duck from the Duck Pond. We are breaking down, we're talking all about gaming basically today. We're talking about Pokemon coming to Universal Parks. We're talking about Josh Giamaro and his vision for the future of Disney through that gaming perspective. We're going to break down this Nintendo, what is it, Super Mario Galaxy trailer today. We got a lot to discuss today. I got Mr. Seymour Duck. I got Lucas in the house up next here on OG50. Oh. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55. Lucas is with me today. Mr. Seymour Duck is with me today. We're talking video games, the future of gaming for Disney, all this great stuff. Before we dive right in, Lucas is back. How you doing, Lucas?
Good, good. Good to be back again. How's everyone doing? I see that we got to reunite with Mr. Seymour Duck once more. So
Yes, sir.
good to be here.
Absolutely. Where can everybody find you on social media, Lucas?
You can find me on X as iLucasK, right below on my name. And then you can also find me as lucaskim.com on Blue Sky or Lucas and Disney on YouTube.
There he is. There he is. I'll be linking his information in the description down below. Make sure you support and follow Lucas on those platforms. Mr. Seymour Duck has a show here on the channel called The Duck Pond, a great little late night show where we dive into the niche topics, all kinds of crazy stuff. Mr. Duck, welcome back. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, and thank you for having me on. This is going to be a great topic, especially
Yeah.
when it's about gaming. Usually, I have notes already in the corner to basically, when I talk about Disney, to get prepared. But with gaming, I don't. I'm just passionate about gaming, so it's like, yeah, I'm good to go.
Mm,
Especially
I
when it's
love it.
about even with Disney, Nintendo, anything with gaming, I'm good to go. And with you guys, I'm great to be here with to talk about gaming.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I used to be, admittedly, not so much a gamer now, but I'm actually really considering getting a Nintendo Switch too. I'm thinking about it. I've been kind of like eyeballing it at my local Target, but back in the day when I was a kid, man, I lived on the Nintendo. Like I lived on that, like the 8-bit, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the Game Gear, the Game Boys. I mean, I was all into that stuff. And it's crazy too how video games have really taken a hold of the culture. This is a timeless thing that we're dealing with now. I mean, when I was a kid, 35 plus years ago, whatever it was, I mean, it was big and it's still big today. So it's a generational thing. It's not a trend by any means. But gentlemen, should we dive right in? Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right. First topic is going to be Pokemon coming to Universal. This is interesting. So Universal Studios will be getting a Pokemon attraction in the future. So it says here in a press release from both companies, the company said Universal Studios Japan is proud to build on its prior success and bring to life the world of Pokemon in new and enriching ways for the first time. Following its debut in Japan, Universal Destinations and Experiences will deliver unique Pokemon experiences across the company's global footprint. That's interesting. Across the company's global footprint. That's important. Further details about the project will be announced at a later date, as one would expect. This Pokemon attraction will roll out in Osaka, Japan, first before making its way to Universal Studios Florida. The attraction is supposedly based on a quote hyper realistic experience that simulates all five senses end quote, which sounds a bit more extreme than I was expecting. I don't know if I want to smell Pokemon that badly. That's pretty funny. Lucas, what are your thoughts on this? Are you down to smell some Pokemon?
I mean, it was bound to happen. I kept saying that, Pokemon is without a doubt will eventually come into Universal Parks, like one way or another. And I did say that like if Universal somehow brings Pokemon Park into like Islands of Adventure, replacing Marvel Hero Island, it would be a perfect location for you know, customers to come in, for the guests to come in, and then that area would be extremely packed, and you know, and that would probably balance out the Epic Universe as well as the Islands of Adventure. But I know, you know, some people have said that that's not where it's gonna go. It's probably gonna replace the Simpsons ride. I think that's a pretty bad idea. That's just my opinion, only because, you know, I think you know, the whole Pokemon should be like extremely wide, full wide all out park instead of just like one small attraction, because that's just how strong this revenue is. And not to mention, Pokemon is actually current, like, straight 10 years number one best selling revenue, um just the IP itself, like the Pokemon itself, not Nintendo, just the Pokemon itself. It dominated like Disney altogether and everything so far. So to you know, like this coming into the park is just a big game changer for Universal. And you know, you should be like a lot of parks and other companies should be, you know, very be worried about like how this company is gonna, like, you know, um bring this IP into the park.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Lucas. I think for a franchise like Pokemon, which has been a juggernaut, right? Since I mean, since the 90s even. I mean, it's been big forever. To go in there and just like have a singular attraction without it connected to like a broader land, I think I agree with you. It would be a mistake. I think you have to go big when it comes to Pokemon, right? I think Islands of Adventure is a great park for this franchise. I think IOA, from what I'm hearing, kind of needs it. I mean, there's a lot of franchises in that park that are kind of, you know, they're kind of faltering a little bit. Toon Lagoon is full of a bunch of cartoons that really have been irrelevant. Even when that park opened, those cartoons were irrelevant. You know, Betty Boop and Popeye and stuff. You know, so you know, you have a lot of, well, even the Marvel stuff. Let's be honest. You know, Universal can't even do anything with Marvel over at IOA. You know, I mean, Disney's not going to sign off on any kind of new attraction for them. So there's a lot of opportunity there at Universal, at IOA. It seems weird to me to replace the Simpsons ride over there at the Studio Park. That I agree with you, Lucas. That's a missed opportunity right there. I think that would be a bad decision as well. I mean, anywhere you put Pokemon, it's going to be a hit. I think you would get more bang for your buck though if you expanded it out a little bit more and put it in IOA. But MrSeymourDuck, what are your thoughts on this in terms of just Pokemon coming to Universal? It's huge, right?
Yeah, Lucas took the words right out of my mouth. Pokemon is the biggest media franchise in the world. I think second is Hello Kitty, which is very surprising because we don't usually hear that in the news. But yeah, Pokemon is number one, and I'm not surprised they're gonna do it in Japan first. I think in Japan, the Pokemon company owns the trademark, and then everywhere else, Nintendo is. So there's a bit of red tape, but Nintendo owns 33.3%, something like that, of Pokemon Company. So that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, this is the smartest decision they can do, and I'm glad that it took this amount of time because you don't want to ruin a franchise like Pokemon and rush things in. You want to take your time and make sure that the attraction for Pokemon is going to be good.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
I agree. I agree with you, and you're right. There is a lot of red tape with Pokemon, right? Because it has like 3 or 4 owners or something like that. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, but they're all in bed with each other technically, and but yeah, yeah, Game Freak and Creature, they own the rest of Pokemon as well. But it's an own independent company in Japan, even though the ownerships are like 33%. But
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, it's good. I think it's going to be one of the greatest, smartest decisions that Universal can do is bring Pokemon in, but they're going to have to do it that carefully because if you flop an attraction like Pokemon, there's no going back.
So
It's bigger than anything they could provide, right? Harry Potter, even just Nintendo themselves or Mario. It's bigger than any of those, and so you gotta like make sure that the quality is there. And I'm sure Nintendo and the Pokemon Company and Creature and Game Freak will come in and make sure that that happens as well. Because just like with Nintendo right now, right, with the theme parks and Universal, even the smallest things Nintendo gets a little worry about.
yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, you have to come with the quality. Disney has learned with Star Wars that when you have a beloved franchise, fans watch, you know, And when you have fans watching, you got to deliver. And so Universal's under a lot of pressure with Pokemon to get in there and provide an incredible experience. I think it's pretty cool about the whole like 5 senses thing. That's interesting. And that does kind of point to like Universal's mindset where it's like, okay, we're gonna be ambitious with the attraction. So that's good news. Now Pokemon here in the States is enormously popular. I would imagine, is it even bigger in Japan, Seymour? I mean, it must be crazy, right? Over there?
Yeah, if you go to just like everything in Japan, like you go to restaurants and you see Pokemon themed restaurants. You see a lot of it, like even smaller attractions. They it's huge, just like Hello Kitty. Even though we don't see Hello Kitty in like in the U.S., but like in China and Japan, they're huge. Yeah, in Japan, it's just like Nintendo with Mario. It's huge. You know, when you go to the airport, when you go to one of the airports in Japan, you drop off, you see Nintendo IPs everywhere.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, Lucas, you and we follow the theme park stuff very closely, right? And Universal is leaning hard. Even Hello Kitty. I mean, I was at Universal last week, and they have a Hello Kitty meet and greet right when you walk in. They have a Hello Kitty cafe at City Walk. I mean, they're leaning into Hello Kitty. Now they're doing Pokemon. We've seen them with FanFest lean hard into One Piece. I mean, this is kind of interesting how Universal is going. They're really bullish on Japanese and Japanese IP. But you've been saying this for a long time, right?
Yeah. Like I did. I wasn't actually another live like discussing about it. I said that how Universal is like really changing its perspective on what they want to do with like with their company. I think they decided to put their focus on more like a imported IPs into their parks more than anything else because like the Universal is very observant about certain things like such as like they really want to bring anime IPs into like a theme park attractions or something like a little bit more like like product revenues and then also video games. Obviously, the moment that they announced Nintendo, a lot of Universal fans were very excited about it, despite the how bad the Mario Kart like ride is. People still go. People still interact with those attractions. A lot of like Mario related products, such as like the Mario wristband, like revenue sales have skyrocketed because it's a Nintendo and Super Mario related product. So you
Right.
can kind of guess that Universal has decided to uh put a 200% like all out and oh let's do like a video game IPs going forward from here on and especially in Japan Japan's Universal they have Final Fantasy IPs, Evangelion IPs, Demon Slayer, um and then also Resident Evil IP. They have a Resident Evil show, like just like a kind of a water world kind of show out there with American like Western actors acting in there. So you can, I kind of hope that Resident Evil in the future comes into Universal Hollywood and Orlando and do the same type of performance out there in the future because that's just how great these video game IPs are. It brings more guests and more interesting sales revenue.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And Universal's you're correct, Lucas, too, with like your assessment of that, where Universal is kind of in a unique position where they do like to license out stuff more. And I don't know if that's because that's what they prefer or they do it out of necessity because they don't have the IP library that like a Disney would have. But regardless, they do it a lot, and they're able to pull these franchises in. Also, Universal is seen as much more of a kind of an edgier brand, right? Disney has a lot of restrictions when it comes to what they can or can't do. Disney is very much in this kind of like, not to say Universal isn't family friendly. It is family friendly, right? But it still has a little bit more of an edge to it. Like you can get away with something like a Jujutsu Kaisen at Universal, maybe not so much at Disney. You can get away with a little more violence, a little more craziness at Universal. So Universal is they benefit from that, you know, because they can go in there and they can bring in these great anime franchises in you know, from these third parties and put them in their parks. Disney's hands are kind of tied. You can't do a lot of anime stuff at these Disney parks because of the nature of anime. You know, a lot of Japanese animation is, you know, it's older. I mean, it's not kid stuff, you know. So you know, that's pretty cool though, and I think that really does work to Universal's you know, benefit. Mr. Seymour Duck, what are your thoughts on that in terms of like Universal's willingness to sort of lean into the anime and the Japanese IP, like really kind of way more than Disney is right now, at least.
I think it's smart because I was just about to say with the Prime Minister of Japan, the one who just won, she, like, one of her goals was to bring in Japanese entertainment worldwide, and because they know Japan is really good with gaming, anime, and manga, and she's been touting that she's been speaking with entertainment companies, right? I'm assuming like Sony, Nintendo, and all of them to bring in these, and the Pokemon company to bring in these to overseas to help bring in the boost the Japanese economy. So you have the backing of the Prime Minister of Japan already in there. So this is great. This is the best movie you could do. You get the backing of the Prime Minister of Japan. You get the quality of the IPs from Japan, and as a fan, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And I feel like the younger generation, the Gen Z, the Gen Alpha, I think it is, right? I mean, I think they're much more on board with. I think their taste in content is going to be a lot different than like a lot of the older generations, like the Gen X and the Boomers. You know, not to say Gen X and Boomers don't like anime and things like that. They do. I'm not trying to paint with too broad of a brush here, but I feel like the younger generation is embracing it on levels that we have never seen before, whether it be this like anime or whether it be even stuff like from South Korea, like you know, K-pop Demon Hunters, K-pop, K-drama. I feel like this stuff is getting way bigger than we've ever seen. I mean, huge stuff, you know. I mean,
Yes,
Seymour, we were talking about the K-pop Demon Hunter numbers were crazy on Netflix, right?
yes, I have a quote here that the Prime Minister said from Japan. She said that anime has evolved beyond mere pulp culture, enhancing Japan's diplomatic power. She noted that even world leaders often mention their kids' love for Japanese characters as a connection point and views it
Wow.
as a strategic industry like semiconductors. And she's been targeting $20 trillion yen in overseas revenue. And she even states about how, like, even the Prime Minister of Italy is a big fan of Fists of the North Star and has an autograph and everything.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, see what I'm saying? And we've talked about it here on the channel too, like where Mario is very much a symbol around the world, like a Mickey Mouse, right? And it's just massive. I mean, a lot of stuff coming out of Japan is massive. So we'll see. But speaking of Japan, I want to dive into this and Seymour, you brought this to my attention. We're going to react to this. And speaking of Japan, speaking of Mario, the Super Mario Galaxy Movie Direct. This came out today, January 25th. You want to set the table for us before we react and watch this, Mr. Duck?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. All I know is that Nintendo had an event on a Sunday morning saying for the movie. That was basically it.
Oh, okay. Now, have you seen this yet, Lucas?
No, I am not, but I'm already reacting to the first part of the ESRB saying like E for everyone is like it's like they're making a joke out of this right now already. It's like hey, this is like a video game trailer kind of thing, but we all know this is a movie, so it's like I see what they did there.
I love it. I love it.
A friend of mine told me to react to this, and then we watch it again and react to the Easter eggs that you can find in it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's quite a few Easter eggs in here. Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I was waiting for you
Yeah,
guys.
I haven't seen it either because I wanted a raw reaction to this.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and play it. It's 5 minutes. If you guys want me to pause it though along the way, just say, "Hey, OG, pause it." We'll pause it. We'll react. We'll do our thing. So let's rock and roll. If you spot any Easter eggs along the way, though, point them out. I'm kind of curious. Here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Today, I'd like to show you the latest video for the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
If you could pause,
Yeah, I got you.
your subtitles are in French.
Yeah, I just turned them off. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
We released the first trailer last November, which was well received by many people from around the world. Thank you all very much for your support. All right then, this time, let's press the start button right away.
Oh, you're here.
Now, where's the troubled pipe?
Hey, I just want to say out the gate though, like the animation is actually beautiful, like really, really good. So this is Illumination, and look, I've had my criticisms of Illumination in the past, but they're teaming up with Nintendo. It's working out for sure. I love the way this movie looks.
Yes, I agree. I think Nintendo pushed them to their limits.
100%.
Probably it's like go all out. Don't let your creativity stop you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're absolutely pushing them. It's great. Oh.
Come on, you're not the scared guy anymore. Yes, I am. People don't say it.
There's the problem. Hey. It's all right.
Oh.
Let's go!
Who is this? Yoshi.
Come on.
So some dinosaur just shows up and he's now part of the group. Cool.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I know what that. Okay, so what Yoshi is holding is called a Super Nintendo Super Scope. That's part of the Easter egg, obviously. I noticed that just now.
Oh, okay. Now, what is that exactly? I'm not familiar.
So back in Super Nintendo, it's like they're a way of doing like an arcade style of like a gun right there. So you have like a bazooka actually looking controller, and you would shoot it into the TV screen, and then like do a shooting game, and there was it's like a Yoshi's Adventure kind of thing, and where you would do like a first person shooter as Mario trying to shoot like Bowser and his nephews and along the way while collecting the gems. That was one of the Super Scopes point of the game. And obviously the Super Scope had another Easter egg back in the old live action version movie of the Super Mario Brothers game, the movie itself, where the two brothers actually used the Super Scope to fight about like the humanoid Bowser at that time.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very, very
It's
interesting.
almost like the sequel to the, I think it was Light Gun, for Duck Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, now Duck Hunt. I don't want to talk about that. That's a little sensitive for Seymour. I don't want to get into that.
And also the scene, it's there's so many Easter eggs. There's baby Mario and baby Luigi, but then also the T-Rex from Super Mario Galaxy, all happening all at once.
It's wild. No, I love this. And they didn't have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the first movie, they didn't have the fire flower, right? That was pretty sick in the beginning of the trailer with the fire flower. I don't remember that in the
No,
first movie.
they did.
Peach, yeah.
So Peach actually used
Okay.
the fire flower, and then now like Mario and Luigi actually obviously knows how to do so. Another Easter egg that I wanted to point out was that Luigi transforming into a frog. That's actually from Super Mario Brothers 3, where
Okay.
he would jump as a frog right there. And another form was actually the raccoon form, the Tanuki suit. That was also I'm assuming that they're gonna add that into the Tanuki suit into Super Mario Brothers Galaxy eventually in this movie. So you kind of see that. But I actually had a discussion with somebody like teased that baby Mario and baby Luigi screenshot right there, and they said that like what if like Nintendo actually considers about making another remake of Yoshi's Adventure with like carrying Yoshi's carrying baby Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Rosalina with into a 4-player mode, and then going on an adventure to send their kids to their rightful parent kind of thing right there.
Oh, that'd be cool. You were saying a remake of that game?
Yeah, so it used to be it was a very popular game for Super Nintendo where like the group of 12 like the 12 Yoshis like different colors have joined in together to send baby Mario to their rightful parent while the baby Mario was like dropped off into their island. And that was
Interesting.
like a very popular game back then, and it was a very fun story too. So it's like I have a feeling that they're gonna do that remake someday in the future.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. Absolutely.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I do like the soundtrack. The nostalgic hits are coming all over the place in my head. I'm just like, I know this, I know this. That's the one thing I like about the Nintendo, the Mario movie, is that when I watched it, it's just a fun experience, right? And it was a fun experience for either a newcomer or a fan. A fan, you got all those Easter eggs, but then as a newcomer, you don't need to know all these Easter eggs. You can just watch it and experience it and have a good time. And I feel like this trailer is representing that as well. But my only issue with the first movie is that they had too many 80s music, right? Like Take On Me during the with Donkey Kong scene, because what happened was that was supposed to be Donkey Kong theme song, but then they replaced it with Take On Me, and a lot of the fans were a bit upset that they replaced that. That's my only gripe with the movie. I still think it's one of the best animated movie of all time, for me at least.
Yeah.
As a huge Nintendo fan, but that's the only issue, and I think that's a bit of Universal coming in and be like, hey, we want music from the 80s. But besides that, because thankfully I can hear a lot of the stuff in here, thankfully I hear more Nintendo music instead of 80s music.
Yeah. Da-na-na-na-na-na. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I love it.
Oh, wait.
How was that?
I think they changed the date. It's April
Really?
1st now.
What was it before? Let me go back a little bit and we'll play it one sec. What was it before?
I think it was like April 3rd or 4th, if I'm not mistaken. I think they changed it to April 1st now.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I did not know that, but maybe they moved it up a little bit. Is that what you're seeing as well, Lucas? I wasn't sure exactly. I knew it was
have no
April,
idea.
but
I was not paying attention to the release date. All I know is that if they say that it's April 1st, and then somehow they say, "Ha, gotcha, it's April Fools," and then it moves it to the 4th, then I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, well, I see what you did there."
yeah, well, that's true. That's true. April 1st. Okay, it's coming up. Couple months.
How was that? After the first trailer was released, people were asking, is Yoshi not going to be in the movie? Of course he's in it. For over 30 years, Yoshi has been a significant part of Mario's adventures. When we began developing Super Mario World, Yoshi was created from the idea of wanting to run around while on a small dinosaur. Mr. Kondo added percussion to the background music, and Yoshi, who's fun to use for running, jumping, stomping, eating things, and laying eggs, was born. Later, in Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, he protects baby Mario and starts throwing eggs as well. Even after evolving into 3D, Yoshi has continued to play an active role across different games. For this movie, we collaborated with the artist at Illumination to bring Yoshi to life on the big screen. Okay, let's also hear some remarks.
I do want to say
Chris-san
one thing
from Illumination.
Yeah,
Chris-san.
I'm glad they're not using it. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like almost like Pokemon-esque. Yoshi doesn't really talk except saying Yoshi in sounds. That's what it sounds
thank
like.
God.
Yeah, that's a good move. That's a good creative move. That's great. And you know what? Nintendo is very protective. I feel like of their IPs and stuff. So I think that probably was a big thing for them to make sure that it wasn't going to talk.
No. I'm gonna stop you right there because I'm kind of worried about the future of the live action Zelda movie right now because a lot of people are wondering if Link is actually gonna talk or if he's actually throughout the whole movie is gonna be like, yeah.
That'd be funny.
And then everyone's like kind of worried that like Link actually talking, but at the same time they're like kind of worried that he's just gonna like make that sound throughout the whole 3 hours of movie. Right
Oh,
there.
that's funny, dude. Oh my gosh, that would be pretty funny. I think, well, I think in Link's case, I think you kind of have to have him talk. I think I would be okay with that. Yoshi seems like a different sort of situation. I don't know. For me, it's kind of case by case, but I mean, if they get like super rigid on this stuff, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's crazy. So far though, I will say this: I do love the casting. I think Link, the kid they chose for him, is perfect, and
No,
Zelda
both are
as well.
perfect. Both
Yeah.
are perfect. Now I'm worried about who's gonna be the Ganondorf, and I hope that the casting is not as like terrible as the new Street Fighter live action movie because I just like I was kind of speechless when they did that. I'm like at the point of thinking the Capcom doesn't really take their movie seriously, and they just really just want to make every part of their franchise like a part of a joke at this point because if you think about it, the live action Resident Evil movies happens ever been so disastrous throughout all
Yeah.
like the past history movies. Not to mention they destroyed Monster Hunter live action, which was atrocious. Like you think about Monster Hunters like with the big swords and like hammers, axes, fighting like big giant dragons, but you had like AR-15 trying to shoot a Rathalos was like not what I had in mind right there.
Now, Seymour, I haven't seen the Street Fighter stuff. I mean, have you seen it? Do you share the same sentiment that Lucas has with that?
It's an Americanized version of a Japanese game.
Okay. All right.
That's when you see a trailer. That's what I see.
Okay. That's interesting. I used to love that game.
For me, I do want to state one thing in regards to the Zelda movie. I gotta give props to Nintendo and Sony. There's barely any leaks. The only leaks that we got were like the main two actors, and then Nintendo's like, "Here we go, and let's just show you the actors." But we don't know any of the other actors. We don't even know what roles they're playing either. None of that's happening, even though they're currently filming. The Avengers. We see so many leaks coming out for Endgame, not Endgame, Doomsday, and then, but yet here we don't see barely any leaks.
Yeah, no, that's true.
There's actually one actor that I would be interested in seeing him play as a Ganondorf in Zelda, and I think that would be Jason Momoa, in my personal opinion, because
cool.
he actually has a charisma of a like kind of like a villainy type of eyes and like the looks right there. So, and nowadays he actually does have a belly. So in a way, if he actually played as like a kind of like overweight Ganondorf kind of thing right there, I think that'd be pretty interesting right there. Like from the Breath of the Wild, Ganondorf is not exactly like all like muscly type of guy. He was like kind of like a little bit big bone character right there.
Yeah. Now, before we continue with the video, I want to ask both of you guys. I'll start with you, Lucas, and I'll go down to Seymour. What's your favorite Zelda game, Lucas?
That's a really hard question to ask because I actually love all the Zelda games in a way, but I will say I know a lot of people will probably say that like Ocarina of Time. I disagree. I actually like Wind Waker. Like out of any Zelda games I've played so far because it has a like an animation cell shaded thing, but also like sailing through the whole sea, trying to find an like island to island while like listening to that music just kind of like really hits me very deep about like like it's calming and it just like feels like you're going on a actual adventure, like seeking like uncharted land and uncharted like waters, kind of right there. I just the whole thing about it, and then the whole combat system was just too amazing, and not to mention the ending part was just like the most brutal way that for a kids game, in my personal opinion. I just think that like the whole game is that game itself is just like amazing to me.
Okay, interesting. Seymour, what's your favorite Zelda game?
It's hard. I don't have a favorite one because they're different in their own way, right? I like I'm gonna say this Ocarina of Time, but I also like Breath of the Wild, but I also like Wind Waker. Wind Waker is different from Ocarina of Time, and same thing with Breath of the Wild. They brought their own unique perspective to Zelda, and those are my top three if I had to pick. I do like Majora's Mask though for all the puzzles, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, at the top three, though, those would be it. Those are my favorite ones. I don't think I have a top one because they're different enough for it to be a. But yeah, I like all those three if I had to pick.
Yeah, Nintendo has been really good at diversifying that Zelda franchise, and it really is a beautiful IP. I love it. My go-to Zelda game was the one from the Super Nintendo, the Link to the Past. I love that one because it was funny because they tried something different with the game. I think it was the game right before that where it was a horizontal kind of platform style. Remember
I know
that
what
one?
you're talking about. It's Legend of Zelda 2.
Yes.
Yeah, but that one like was not as popular as like the predecessor. But the thing is that like it's really like Legend of the Zelda: Link to the Past that made the franchise like really popular amongst like a lot of players.
Yeah.
The first Legend of Zelda obviously was popular, but it wasn't as popular as A Link to the Past. I think a lot of people have a very deep memories of Link to the Past, and then the Link's Awakening, which is a sequel of the Link to the Past on a Game Boy, and then that's where, due to the popularity, that's where everyone wanted to buy Ocarina of Time, and that's the whole like Legend of Zelda like a demand has become like so extremely skyrocketed at that point right there.
Yeah, it's huge. Absolutely huge.
Thank you, Miyamoto-san. Since the last time we spoke, animation has now been fully completed and the movie has moved into post-production. Our teams are now focused on the sound design and the music that will carry our adventure across the galaxy. Directors Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek are collaborating.
I like the way he said it. I'm kind of afraid that like he's taking the same direction as the first movie that Seymour was complaining about, like putting like American music into the movie, and then like ignoring what fans exactly want. I really hope that he's actually listening to the fans and the criticism that like they were giving out in that movie right there, and I hope he's not making the same mistake and putting 80s or like whatever the new gen music's in there, and like because that's not what people were like seeking for.
I agree. What say you, Seymour? Is that your concern too with how he's wording this?
Yes. Especially in the first one. At the end of the movie, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, you know, they use the star, and it was supposed to be Jump by Van Halen, but they didn't put that in, and thank goodness they didn't put that in. They used the theme for the star power, and I'm like, good to use that, because I don't think Jump would have worked. I mean, the fans would have been upset about that if you replaced that with Jump.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Collaborating with Brian Tyler, Nintendo, and our designers at Skywalker Sound, Brian has integrated themes from the Super Mario Galaxy games and is recording the score with a 70-piece orchestra. This is one of my favorite moments in the life of a production, where we begin to experience all of the visual and sonic elements coming
Can you pause
together.
here?
And
Yeah, I
we
got you.
can't wait to share the movie.
He says sonic elements. You know what that means?
Oh,
Sonic confirmed for Super Mario Galaxy.
confirmed. I mean, seriously, do you think that's a possibility that he makes a cameo? Because I know it's a Sega character, but doesn't Nintendo have the licensing rights to that character though now?
No, it's Paramount.
Oh,
Paramount's
that's
the one that. So does that mean that Comcast actually talked with Paramount to get Sonic into the Mario universe? It's kind of weird to me because as you know, Sonic is actually half live action right there. So how would
yeah.
the Sonic be brought into this universe unless like they somehow talked it out with Sega that it's completely alternate universe or something? Like it's like if what Seymour says is true, then like they have
Oh
to
no,
work
I
it
was
out with
just kidding
something.
because he said Sonic. No, I was because the
Oh,
word.
okay.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, because
You
he was
you don't
saying
really you don't think we'll see a cameo, like maybe even like
no,
in the,
no. My friend was telling me he's gonna say Sonic, so mention it.
oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know though, because I mean, I know Sonic didn't Sonic make a cameo in Wreck-It Ralph? I thought he did.
Yes, he
Um,
did. But that was
Yeah,
yeah,
and
before
Bowser
Paramount
too.
took the full
yeah,
rights right there. That was like way before Paramount decided to make Sonic live action movie. So I think at that time, Sonic the franchise itself was like kind of like freelance, where they can use like the IP rights like for that just for that movie scene right there. But
gotcha.
yeah, and then also the voice actors were different too. Uh, in the Wreck-It Ralph, I think Roger Craig Smith was the one voicing it, not Ben Schwartz. So like it was a lot easier for them to bring into the Wreck-It Ralph at the universe for that small like 10-minute clip scene right there, maybe 5 to 10 minute right there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
But
interesting.
but truthfully, I don't think Sonic's gonna be in a
No,
Nintendo.
I don't think so. Especially with Paramount refusing. Paramount's going a little bit of nutter case on haywire right now. I don't think they want to do anything to do like anything outside of whatever the franchise they're doing. Like, I don't understand that company right now with the CEO's direction and everything. I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot with the way they're going right now.
Oh no, I completely agree with you, Lucas. I mean, I've said it before on videos where it's like, you know, you don't want to ruin your reputation in the industry because that hurts you for future deals with other studios. A lot of Hollywood is a very like kind of like clicky kind of industry, and the Ellisons and Paramount right now are like completely just crapping the bed, I think, with the way they're going after Warner Brothers. They've made like I don't even know how many offers at this point. They keep getting denied, and now they're trying to like sue and all kinds of stuff. It's like it's just too much drama. You know, Comcast also was interested in Warner Brothers, and they did their thing, and it didn't work out, and they pulled away. And that's how you are. That's how you do this. That's how you kind of demonstrate corporate responsibility, in my opinion, and that you just kind of like make your deal, you do your thing. If it doesn't work out, you walk away peacefully. The way Paramount's handling it is just it's a bad look. And look, we've seen what happens when you ruin your reputation in the industry. We've seen it with Bob Chapek. It doesn't end pretty, you know. So I
Right.
think
So
Paramount's really risking a lot of. Go ahead.
yeah, so not to mention, I think I mentioned this to you before, like how Paramount and Tom Cruise are not actually having a best relations ever since the final Reckoning, because Ellison's and Paramount told Cruise to pay his own money to finish the production of that movie, and that's why I feel like the final reckonings, like the way the direction that they went ended up being rushed and like not being properly managed. And I think also Tom Cruise was like pretty pissed off about that too. So like you have to understand, like the whole Mission Impossible franchise, like the movies and the box office brought money to Paramount, and not to mention like the Top Gun Maverick. So for Paramount to like give a middle finger to Tom Cruise is like, what are you doing? Like, why are you shooting yourself in the foot? And with that said, Cruise actually has like visited Lucasfilm to help with the filming the Star Wars film. I'm sorry to like kind of like digress a little bit, but I
No, you're
feel like
fine.
this is like, but but it kind of shows that like this company is just like pushing away like all the potential actors and like producers and directors that could save this company, and
Right.
instead they're trying to go really not only just political but also like just like the finance direction, and then like the management. It's all going like all insane right here, and I'm kind of afraid of how they're gonna handle with the Sonic the fourth movie when it's coming out, because the way right now, like I don't think Paramount has any budgets to like do anything like dynamic.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Lucas. They're really, like I said, like yeah, you're right. I mean, they're ruining their reputation in the industry. It's becoming harder to work with them. That whole Paramount thing is a hot mess. So yeah, we'll
I do
see.
want to say one thing as well with in regards to that. This isn't their first time doing this. It's Skydance. They bought Paramount, right? And Sony was and Apollo was supposed to buy Paramount. But there was a whole debate and Skydance coming in and saying no, we're gonna do it, and they were in bed with Sherry Redstone, who owns a majority of the shares, but the A shares who had voting rights. But then Sony and Apollo, they were offering better shares for the B, but they didn't have voting rights. So it was like, oh, we're giving better, like it was more money for Paramount shareholders, but Paramount shareholders couldn't do anything about it because they didn't have any voting rights. And at the end, Skydance kept pushing it, and eventually got through and got Paramount. And now that's what it feels like it's happening now here with Warner Brothers. They're trying to push through again the second time around, trying to, even though we know that financially and the prospects of it, we can say like as a fan, like, oh, do we think Netflix is going to work? But financially, as a prospect, it would be better for them to own Warner Brothers than Paramount owning Warner Brothers. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Movie with you in April.
Thank you, Chris-san. Many familiar characters, including Yoshi, will play active roles in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We hope you're looking forward to it. Okay then, see you later.
Awesome. I love it. This is going to be another $1 billion movie for Universal and Nintendo.
Oh no, definitely.
I mean, 100%. This is going to be a massive.
This is very Japanese. They had a whole event just to show a trailer.
Yeah, I love it. Now he, if I'm not correct me if I'm wrong, but he's the creator of Mario, right? Super Mario.
Almost everything that I'm gonna say.
Yes.
Zelda, Mario, and then Donkey Kong.
He's like the
and then
George Lucas
also-
of Star Wars.
Yeah. So like he's a it's kind of funny because he's actually the creator of all these characters, but he's never the CEO of Nintendo. So that it just kind of like shows it, and I think he also never wanted to be part of the like the CEO or like head of the Nintendo kind of thing. He just wanted to stay in the creative department right there.
Yeah.
Which is what makes him do what he's good at, and I'm glad that he's not a CEO though. Like
Yeah. No, sometimes it works out just being to be in the role that you do best, and I think like his position where he's at is perfect for him. And I gotta say, the dude looks really good. Because I mean, he was making games for like Lucas and I are probably close to the same age. I mean, he's making games for us back when we were kids. I mean, he looks pretty good. That's why I was kind of surprised. Like, wow, this guy he was making the original Mario Brothers that I played when I was like 5 years old. So.
I think it's kind of interesting because most of the companies like board members and the CEO, they do whatever like the business, whatever is like focused for business and whatever profits them. But I like when it comes down to Shigeru Miyamoto, I don't think they really like question his like what he wants to do with the game direction and what he wants to do like with the IP franchises. Like I think they know that he's gonna succeed. I think they know that he's gonna nail it, and that I think that's also the reason why they just like when he asks for something, when he like suggests to create something, they're like, go ahead, do whatever you want, kind of thing, right there.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, let's pivot now to Disney. This is actually from a report from what was it, last month, December 2nd. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. And this is courtesy of GameSpot.com. It says here, Disney's possible new CEO wants to do more with gaming. And this is courtesy of Eddie Makuch. Okay, I didn't massacre that last name. It says here that a new report has shed more light on the CEO succession plan at Disney, with a story from the Wall Street Journal saying leading candidate Josh D'Amaro wants to focus more on gaming. The same report also suggested that EA CEO Andrew Wilson is not going to get the job. It was previously reported that Disney's board considered external candidates to take over for Bob Iger, including Wilson, but the new report said Disney is likely to choose an internal candidate. Wilson, for his part, is staying on with EA. Now, it says here that the new Disney CEO could be D'Amaro, who is currently the lead head of Disney Experiences, a sprawling unit that covers theme parks, consumer products, cruise ships, and video games. The Wall Street Journal report said D'Amaro, who is widely considered to be named the next CEO, wants to give video games a bigger role at the company. The report said D'Amaro was also looking to integrate gaming technology into Disney's creative processes. No further details were divulged, however. So this is interesting. Seymour, I'll start with you, man. I mean, it's looking, this is where all these things kind of come together. We've had a lot of stories lately that they're going to announce the CEO next month in February. It's looking like it's going to be Josh D'Amaro, and Josh comes out about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and is saying he wants to go all in on the gaming stuff. What are your thoughts on this, Seymour? Then I'll go to Lucas. I mean, future head of Disney. I mean, he's bullish on gaming.
I just want to say, let's not hope. Let's hope it's not Andrew Wilson as the CEO for some odd reason that ever comes out. I don't want the CEO of EA to become the CEO of Disney. Please, they're gonna monetize everything, microtransactions galore. No, I do not.
Oh man, that would be a disaster.
No.
I'm not too familiar with him, but I mean, I do know that a lot of fans
Have
complain.
a history with this man. Gamers have a long history with this man. Like, considering that EA Games is actually have won 2 straight years of worst company in America twice. So I think everyone knows their history there.
Yeah, let's leave him over there then. I don't think we can
Yes.
get him involved in Disney. So yeah, he's good over there. But go ahead.
In regards to the gaming side and everything with Josh D'Amaro, I think this is why he's going to be CEO of Disney if they had to pick. And I think it's because the future for Disney, and I don't think it's just gaming by itself. I think it's everything that's being integrated as one, and it will become a flywheel for Disney. I think it will be a crucial part for their revenue stream, and Disney needs to grow and evolve as a company. And right now it almost seems like every media company is trying to play catch up with Netflix on streaming, and some of these companies have to be different, and Disney is one of those companies that can be different, and where you don't go to Disney just to watch movies, you go for Disney to experience Disney. And with the Epic Games collaboration that they've been talking for years now, and they haven't really said anything except for a screenshot, and that's it, where you get to experience the Disney world, right? All the Disney IPs and everything together with the technology coming from the people at Fortnite, Epic Games. That's a future I can see with Disney. And if you wanted to bring somebody in to bring a new revenue source, that would be the person in charge of experience, and that's Josh D'Amaro. And I'm excited for that. I know a lot of people don't talk about it as much, but I think this is a crucial part because Disney needs to evolve, and this is one way they need to evolve. And it's not just like playing video games; it's experiencing Disney. And Disney, there's rumors they talk about a lot about how they're gonna have like an Amazon Prime experience of like have one subscription and you experience Disney on everything, get discounts on everything. And this could also be a crucial part, because if you go and have that subscription and you want to go to a virtual Disney park, and then you go to the streaming service with your friends in that, you say, imagine you're at Fortnite, but you're like with a friend, and you're like, oh, let's watch a movie, and then you experience that movie or a digital attraction or something with all your friends at Disney. Or then you get an email and say, hey, look, you get discounts for tickets to go to Disney World, and so you go to Disney World, and then or like, oh, you get discounts to even see movies at a theater as well, and you get to experience all of that. I think for that to happen, you need someone like Josh to come in.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, it says here, the report said Tomorrow is also looking to integrate, quote, gaming technology into Disney's creative process, which is what you're kind of talking about too, Seymour. And even like with theme parks, I mean, we're getting a new mission for Smuggler's Run, right? Centered around the Mandalorian. Now, that's not a game technically, but like that's kind of, for me, is kind of like a perfect example of like, quote unquote, gaming technology being utilized in the theme park space, because you're interacting with your environment and what have you. And I think he's talking about that largely when it comes to maybe like the theme park stuff. So I'm very curious as to what that entails. We might even see maybe improved technology for existing theme park attractions like Midway Mania and, like Spider-Man, web slingers and what have you. So it's very interesting how the gaming stuff, it's gaming, but it's also that technology being utilized in other areas of the company.
And yes, I just wanted to add also, and Epic Games has Unreal Engine, and they can use technologies from that in the content that Disney creates as well, right? With the movies and animation that comes in the future.
Oh, interesting. So Unreal Engine is owned by Epic Games?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this makes a lot of sense, Lucas, because you and I both know, don't they use Unreal Engine for Smuggler's Run? I believe.
I don't know exactly. I would have to research that a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure the Mandalorian and Grogu scenario, they'll probably apply that for the Unreal Engine probably in the future. I think that's where the direction is going. And as far as I know, I heard that they're planning to do like a big overhaul with the what is it, Smuggler's Run, to be a little bit more further interacting and furthermore I guess like immersive delving, as if you're more into like the Star Wars universe than the way it's made right now. So which means that you might see some whole entire graphic overhaul, as well as the multiple scenarios that you would, just like how you would witness it in the Star Tours.
Yeah absolutely.
Upon here searching, it said Smuggler's Run in Disney's Galaxy Edge uses a custom version of Unreal Engine, currently 4, but it's upgrading to 5 in May 2026.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So my money is correct on a little bit part of that. They're doing a huge overhaul.
Yeah, well, and then they're improving Smuggler's Run, where like, because it sucks being the engineer. I know, Seymour, you haven't been on it yet, but like it's like the back seat, and all you do is like push buttons on the wall. It's kind of a whack job, but they're changing that, where like now I believe the engineer is going to choose the planet that you're going to or something, or choose the mission or something like that. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. They took the worst job and kind of made it the coolest job, So a lot of changes happening with that, but yeah, I think you're right, Seymour. I think this is a big reason why Disney is going for Josh. I think this gaming stuff, and obviously the theme parks too. Theme parks are huge, but between the theme parks and how he's run that, and then now this gaming stuff, that's a huge thing. Plus, the guy has charisma. I mean, and I know that seems very superficial, but in the corporate world, and especially for Disney, you have to have that front-facing thing. I mean, people expect their Disney CEO to be different and to be like likable. I mean, that's kind of like been a thing ever since Uncle Walt, right? And so that's a big part of it as well. Alan Bergman doesn't have that charm at all. Dana Walden, I don't even know if she really does, because I don't really even hear from Dana, So it looks like Josh will be the guy, but I don't know. This is huge. Now, Disney has dabbled a lot in gaming in the past, and not always successful. Do you think this is going to be different, Lucas? this go around
I mean, like the
compared to?
direction compared to what, like the Kathleen Kennedy or?
Well, no, I mean in the past they've kind of had issues with gaming and stuff like that.
Oh, right. I mean, like I was already upset that they when they removed Disney Quest. Like, so don't even get me started right there. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like the changing into from Disney Quest into like the NBA experience was like it's like getting a noose on the tree, ready to like doom their like best popular attractions. And now as you know, NBA's experience didn't even last that long. They decided to shut it down because they know that it was really unpopular, and now they're changing into some like a third party arcade area. But but I still think that they should still bring Disney Quest like someday, eventually. Like, but the reason why I think that they were considering Electronic Arts CEO, Andrew Wilson, was because EA Games made like a lot of Star Wars, games
that's
back then,
true.
like Battlefront, um, the Knights of the Old Republic, as well as the Star Wars Squadrons. So they probably thought, bringing EA Games and DICE Studios to make their own new games would actually help them for like customers to get interactive with the game. But obviously, uh I don't think they have a same type of ideal when it comes down to business wise. So they probably didn't want to go with that deal. Now with the Epic, I think it's a pretty good concept because Fortnite has its own metaverse, and I think Disney wants to make its own metaverse engine using the Unreal Engine. Where people can make their own characters, go into the Disney's universe, into that metaverse, interact with all the characters that they want to interact with. That I think that's their primary focus. It's like because they've been Josh D'Amaro has been talking about like wanting to make his own metaverse. I think the perfect candidate would be with talking with Epic, Epic company to make their own version of it. So the way I see it, I see this, you know, to be a like, I think something's gonna happen. Like Disney's gonna make their own game, and then people are gonna join in that game, and and the whole like Gen AI and the metaverse is going to be like a big thing when it comes down to Disney wise. I'm not a big fan of AI, but I think something like that is going to happen in there because they've been also talking about AI interactions uh within the parks too. So I think they're going to do something related to that, as well as a Magic Band, and then as well as the Disney app, and then like a personal experience, like a personal like uh experience who wants to like do all those all at once, and people who are not familiar with the gaming to like be into like getting into it with their families and kids.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Here's the thing, and this is one of the big pitfalls that a lot of companies fall into, where they don't evolve with the times, and that's what will be the downfall for a lot of companies, is that they stay stagnant. I like to hear stuff like this, where Disney is looking for new ways to keep their IP flywheel current and relevant, because it's very easy. Disney even has fallen into this trap in the past, and and it's gone back, like way in the past. But like, when you kind of like tread water, and you kind of like just you kind of like do the status quo, your business isn't going to last, right? You have to keep advancing the technology and advancing with the culture. And I like the fact that Disney's looking for all these different ways, from gaming and to all this other stuff, to like, kind of like keep their IP out there and relevant. So that's great. And Seymour, are you excited for this prospect overall in terms of like how they can integrate all this stuff?
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. As long as they don't pull a Disney Toontown Online and remove it, yeah.
Yeah, and another one that they did, what was that? Disney Infinity, right? It was kind of like a thing that like they canceled, and a lot of fans weren't too happy about that. Where they had like the little figurines that you put on the you know what I'm talking about, right? The little figures, the Disney Infinity, or no?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man,
Yes, yes.
funny thing that you say that. Like Disney Infinity 2.0 and 3.0 were like the biggest demands, and a lot of people really loved the idea, but it got really nowhere because like the developers just like didn't really like update their system and so forth. But people love collecting those like statues, like as if like Nintendo's Amiibo. It's kind of funny
Yes.
because Amiibo was very successful, but at the same time, like the Disney Infinity could have done the same thing and could have done a better job with it. The idea was very like, and there's a lot innovation to it, and then it was like, and I think Imagineers kind of got involved with it too, and then saw some potential in it, but for some reason at the end of the day they really got nowhere with it, so they just kind of like obliterated out of nowhere, and I was very
Yeah.
upset of hearing that because like I never seen a system that like that made things so creative. Like I feel like they could have done something more with it, and I'm kind of sad to see Eisner and Iger never really like kind of pushed the idea of that.
Yeah.
And then it just got to that point right there. But um Josh Merrill, I feel like he is in the right direction. I think that this age is like more the age of gaming and the age of like third party IPs, like such as game or anime, that to get involved with these companies. Like I think Disney getting involved with like Power Rangers or Kamen Rider in the future, I think that's the right direction, because I like making their own story. I think that's pretty good, but I think that they should start looking at other like game IP such as like Capcom. I've also suggested to somebody. I said, hey, what if they bring like a Monster Hunter into Disney's Animal Kingdom, like in replacement of dinosaurs, because Hunter is a very popular IP. People, every gamers know it. Everyone loves it. It's a conservation. It has conservation, like protecting animals, saving the ecosystem, like preventing other animals dominating over other populations. So the hunters fight over it to protect it. And then third, um, like it's a fantasy, so like it kind of fits with the Pandora avatar as well too. So I think it would do a perfect job at it. So I just think that Disney should really like expand their idea and concept of like plenty of IPs and video games to for them to be popular as like they are right now in a very stale hold where uh you know superhero is like kind of like getting oversaturated and like slowly like dying, in my personal opinion. And same goes for like the oversaturation of like Star Wars, such as like the Disney Plus shows, is what's like kind of like making it into stale right there too.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Lucas. He'll be back. Mr. Duck, but I'll bring back Lucas back. But any thoughts on what he just said?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention. You ever played Disney's Toontown online?
I have
the
not.
game?
I've seen it, but I've never played it. Is that like an open world sort of like The Sims kind of thing, or?
Yeah, it's almost like a metaverse of Disney's cartoon in a cartoon world, right? But there was a huge fan base to the point where when Disney removed it, they made their own game, a Toontown Rewritten.
Oh wow!
And you can
okay.
still play it to this date. It's free to play. They can't make any money because they don't want to get sued by Disney. But
yeah,
you can play Toontown Rewritten it, and you get that nostalgia take of the classic 2003 online game that
That's
Disney
crazy.
pulled. The fans were upset about.
That's crazy. You can still play. What's it called? Toontown Rewritten.
Yeah, Toontown Rewritten. Yeah, if you go on Twitch, a lot of people still play it. And they have a dedicated fan base. It's very weird. I got invited to play it a couple of times back when there was lockdowns and I was streaming gaming. I was invited to play. It's a weird game, but it was fun. Yeah, it was. That's because that's what it reminds me of when the Epic Games is coming with the collaboration, because it's now you socialize with friends and to socialize everything with Disney. I think that's the future, right? And that's what it reminded me of. And I think it get to the point where we might see microtransactions and stuff, and you have to buy, because you see it in Fortnite already, right? When you buy skins, and I think they're prepared for it. So I think that one of the biggest reasons they're gonna collab with Epic is because if you already have a Fortnite account, right, an Epic Games account, and you just link it, because I think you can link your Disney account right now. My Disney account, I think it's called now. They keep changing it to Epic, and I think the first few months when that was released, you get a free skin. But yeah, I think you connect it now, and I think the future is that you connect it, your Disney account, get access to all the skins you already bought. So
Okay. Interesting.
Elastigirl skin that I have, the only
Oh,
skin
Elastigirl. I love it.
So I don't really like to buy skins, but I won like 1,000 free V-Bucks or something like that from a friend.
Yeah.
10,000 or 10. So, yeah, it was a lot of V-Bucks from a contest on Twitch, and that's the only time I ever spent money on Fortnite.
Oh my gosh.
So I
That's
bought
hilarious.
Elastigirl.
Oh, that's hilarious. Elastigirl. I love it. I love it. Now we're having a little trouble with Lucas. I'm gonna try to bring him back on again. Hopefully we can get him on. We're gonna close it out anyway, but I wanted him to at least be able to. Yeah, we're getting. Are you seeing him, or are you seeing the circle as well, Seymour?
A circle, yeah.
Yeah, Lucas, if you can hear us, we can't see you, brother. But Mr. Duck, if you want to go ahead and hopefully go ahead and tell everybody where they could find you on social media, and then hopefully Lucas's reception. He's at a hotel right now, so it's the reception is going to be spotty. But Seymour Duck, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Oh, one last thing before I just want to mention this because we were talking about Josh, and I know I mentioned this quite a few times in past videos. Josh, I think, would be the CEO of Disney up front as the face, but behind the scenes, I still think there might be a co-CEO position where Dana Walden is going to work behind the scenes.
Oh,
and I think business side and not upfront in the face, televised and everything. Think of it like DC with James Gunn and Peter Safran, or Netflix with co-CEO, or even now with Star Wars with Kathleen Kennedy. She's gone now, and you got two people. You have the creative and the business. I think that's what would happen with Disney, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind that because at least in the behind the scenes, you get somebody who actually knows Hollywood, and I don't think Josh has that.
No, you're right. You need the Hollywood. You need that Hollywood experience, and I know you can train somebody for a year, but that on the ground years of experience thing is always going to be better than the on the job training for a little bit of time. So you're right. They need Dana Walden to go in there and sort of like help him navigate especially right now. I've been saying it for such a long time. Hollywood right now is going through it, like between streaming and AI, and even just this whole deal with Netflix and Warner Brothers. So much is changing. Like Josh needs help on the studio side, and I'm not trying to crap on him. I mean, he's been brilliant in so many ways, and even with the CEO succession thing, he's navigated this stuff brilliantly. Damn near flawlessly, to be honest with you, because Dana was the front runner, and he surpassed her. So I just think though that like with the Hollywood stuff, he doesn't have that experience, and yeah, you're gonna have to have her part of that equation, and she's gonna have to have a bigger role than she does now. And we heard from Gorman that they're trying to retain talent, so they're probably gonna promote Dana. They love Dana. They do.
Yeah, they must be scared what happened last time with Tom and Kevin.
Oh man, I'm still sad about Tom and Kevin. I love Tom and Kevin, but hey, Tom and Kevin, if you're watching, if you want to come to OG55, you can be my COOs. That's kidding. I don't know if I can pay you though as well as Disney could, but no. But all kidding aside, Mr. Seymour Duck, where can everybody find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on X at MrSeymourDuck.
There he is, and he's got a show here on the channel called The Duck Pond, late night fun show. We talk anime, finance stuff, all that nerdy stuff. So make sure you check that out. Mr. Lucas, always good to have you on, sir. Appreciate you taking the time. I know it's late over there in Florida. I appreciate you taking the time out and at the hotel. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on X at LucasK, or also LucasKim.com on Blue Sky. You can also find me on YouTube, Lucas and Disney. Obviously, kind of got caught up in between right there because hotel Wi-Fi kind of sucks right here, so I can't really do much besides with the iPad.
Yeah, no, you're good, and I'll be linking his information down below, and Seymour Duck down below. So make sure you check these guys out. Yeah, so everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode of OGVD5. What's your thoughts on how gaming is really shaping Hollywood and the theme park industry? We got Pokemon coming to Universal. We got Josh Giamaro saying that he wants to expand gaming's influence for Disney. A lot happening. What are your thoughts? We would love to hear from you. And until the next time, see you.
Thank you so much for watching OG55. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and become a member today.